Revenge stars Camila Mendes and Maya Hawke as high schoolers Drea and Eleanor. After a clandestine run-in at tennis camp, they form an unlikely and secret friendship to get revenge on each other's tormentors. This just dropped on Netflix and it's written and directed by Jennifer Leighton Robinson, who previously helmed the highly underrated Something Great, which is another Netflix original from a few years back. And this is essentially a cross between Strangers on a Train and Mean Girls, borrowing the general premise of the former and just switching the action to a high school setting. Now, I love a good dark comedy, and I was curious to see how a movie like this would play out, where we focus on two characters who aren't exactly meant to be the most likable for good stretches of time, especially the extremely narcissistic Drea. Both characters repeatedly have nasty run-ins with fellow classmates, as well as others they cross paths with in extracurricular activities, which will just constantly fuel the fire for their respective revenge schemes. And there will be some sharp exchanges when showcasing a lot of this teen drama. In particular, a few scenes I love that involved a very hilarious Sophie Turner in a cameo that allows her to let loose a bit. There are quite a few good laughs all throughout this, with both Mendes and Hawke's chemistry driving much of this forward as this odd couple who also go at it with each other at times, in addition to those they're out for revenge on. Both seem like they had a lot of fun with their respective roles, and the fact they inject so much personality into this will alleviate the fact that you're sometimes not entirely sure who you should be rooting for, as the film will build up sympathy for both of them at times, only to see them act no better than those that previously humiliated them. While it can sometimes be a risky move with a film focusing on unlikable protagonists, I appreciated the film showcase these characters' flaws, balance out with their good sides. It would be engaging in the way it had you bouncing back and forth as far as whose side you should be on, but it would never do so in a way that it came off as disorienting. As you try getting all the perspectives of each of these characters, as this high school drama and this revenge plot all come to a head, it just adds to the fun, even if the humor wasn't always laugh out loud hilarious, and allows this to move along at a nice enough pace. That all being said, while I enjoyed this overall, I didn't quite love it, as unfortunately, things do fall apart a bit in the third act. There is a solid twist that holds things together. However, the tone still takes an abrupt shift where it seems to become the sort of movie that it was looking to distance itself from. A number of Netflix's teen comedies do tend to play things a bit safe at times and head into this somewhat cheesy territory. And despite all the promise of the film's first two-thirds with its really sharp screenplay, it found itself going into safe territory with a relatively tame third act, not fully committing to the destructive nature of this setup. Now, it's not a terrible ending, and the charms of the cast do keep things together. However, it's still pretty jarring and deflating. Considering the way this last act is presented, it'll feel more like your generic teen comedy rather than the scathing dark comedy that dominated the first two-thirds. And unfortunately, it makes this feel noticeably disjointed. So all in all, I did like Do Revenge, but unfortunately, I couldn't bring myself to loving it. While both Camila Mendes and Maya Hawke are great, and there's some biting dark humor through most of the runtime, it ultimately opts to keep things pretty safe, and it doesn't completely follow through on some of the conflicts it was setting up, feeling more like a generic teen comedy by the end. It's still a mostly fun ride, and I'd say it's worth the watch, but I was hoping for a bit more. Do Revenge gets a 6.5 out of 10. So let me know, did you see Do Revenge, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Is this one of your favorite Netflix movies of the year, and what's another good dark comedy that you've seen? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching, everyone, and keep having fun with film.